And there you have Daniel arriving, starts the clock so that we can get going. Knight f3 by Anish. And as we know, Anish Giri has amazing bit of preparation. He is also very good at opening theory and positionally very strong. So he goes knight f3 and asks Dubov, can you attack me in this solid opening? Dubov adjusts all his pieces, thinks for a bit. Already he's taken close to 30 seconds. What is he going to play? And well, he can go d5. He can also go c5, but he decides to go d5. He goes d5. And Anish goes g3. Ready territory. g6 by Dubov. Bishop g2. Bishop g7. You like the way in which both these players are making their moves very, very calmly. c4, c6. One of the most solid openings out there. It's called the solid Grunfeld. When you play c6, Anish takes on d5. Dubov takes back. And the knight comes out to c3. Black castles. And white goes knight e5. But Dubov is well prepared. He goes knight e4. And this seems to be his preparation. Anish thinks for a bit, takes on e4. Pawn takes e4. And now takes with the bishop on e4. Dubov sacrifices a pawn and now is ready to give up another pawn. You can see this is attacked twice. And something must be done because d4 is attacked. He takes on c6. B takes c6. And now the bishop comes out on e3. The idea of Dubov was that if you take on c6, he wants to just go rook b8 and claim compensation. But now bishop h3. The white king cannot castle. That's the very important point here. Rook b8 and now Dubov creating another threat, which is to attack this pawn on b2. b3 played. And an important point here is that if you play c5, then I can take, and even if you take here, after queen a1, white has excellent compensation. So you cannot do that. That's the reason why Dubov goes rook b4, attacks the d4 pawn. Now this has to be defended somehow, otherwise black is going to take back the pawn. But also at the same time, if you are able to exchange a few pieces, that's kind of quite good. And that's why Anish goes king f2 and he tells Dubov that, look, if you want to take, I'm happy with it. You can take it. You can take this pawn. But there's a nice move here. He can take with the rook, bishop takes, and then bishop takes d4. So something like rook d4, bishop d4 would have been good. But Dubov actually goes f5. And this is pure Dubov style. He's attacking the bishop. Anish now has a choice. Where should he take his bishop? Should he put it on d3? But he sees that the c6 pawn is hanging and sees nothing wrong in capturing it. So he takes on c6 and Dubov sacrifices a pawn. Wow! Anish looks a little stunned there. You cannot take with the bishop because d4 is hanging. So he takes the pawn on f4 and e5. What a move by Daniel Dubov. Look, if you take gf4, then the queen enters here. So that's why he plays d takes e5. Still the queen will enter. But just to show you what was happening otherwise, queen h4, king g1. If you had taken here with the other pawn like fe5, then there was check here, bishop e5 and rook g4 with a mate coming up. Okay, for now, king g1, rook f4, he sacrifices an exchange here. Wow, what a game. But the analysis, the objective evaluation of the position is around equal. But look at Anish's time, he's down to a minute. He gives a check, king h8, the position is around even perhaps. Queen e4, but this queen d5 check wasn't the best. There was queen c1, which was much better. Check, king f2 played by Anish. And rook to f4. Another piece joins into the attack. Look at how Dubov is attacking with his bishop, rook, queen and another bishop. Unbelievable. These two rooks here on h1 and a1 haven't moved throughout their game yet. Let's see if they get a chance because Dubov is attacking like crazy. Queen d5, he gives a check. Now if you go king g1, then bishop h6 with the idea of sacrificing the rook and bishop coming in. So he goes up. Now Dubov, rook f5 would have been better, but he goes rook f8. An important moment is to go queen d4, but Anish blunders with queen c5. This is a mistake. Queen f4 check. Now the king has to go back to f2, but Anish only has 12 seconds left. What an attack. What an unbelievable attack this is. He goes king f2, presses the clock with just 5 seconds left. Dubov has a lot of time. He gives a check again. Is he going to repeat? Not really. Such a game cannot end in repetition. You have to either checkmate your opponent or lose the game. Queen g5, and now the king, if it goes to f2, there is queen g2 check, king e3, bishop h6. Bishop pops out and gives a check. So Anish goes to d3. But now the king is right out there, completely exposed. This gives a check on d8. King has to go to c4. And Dubov brings his bishop back, gives a check. Where does Anish go next? He goes to b5. Bishop f8, attacking the queen. The queen needs to move. He comes to c3. Well, there are many ways to finish this off. The king is too exposed, and 4 black pieces are hounding at the white king. Check. The king has to go to a4 now. Where else can you go? If you go king a5, there is queen d8 check. King a6 seems too deep in enemy territory. King a4. And now Dubov finds another classy move. Queen e7. He's threatening queen a3 mate. Anish has to play a3. And what do you do now? Now Dubov actually can finish off the game by simplifying. He knows that he's won the game. He knows he's played a brilliancy there. What an amazing game. Check takes king b3, check on e6. And this is over because the c6 bishop is hanging and he resigns. Look at this amazing game.